Okay. So, Skinamarink. There's a polarizing film. People love this film, or they hate this film. And honestly, from a lot of the descriptions I was hearing, I knew a little bit about what I was getting into when I watched it. People have said that nothing happens, and it's very minimalist. So, I was a little prepared going into it. And I knew it was going to be artsy, and I knew it might be considered boring. Man, it was the chief complaint going around is, oh, it's a lot of nothing with a few creepy moments. But some people say that it is a incredibly slow build up to some terrifying aspects. And there's some merit to both sides of those arguments. Now, I've been looking forward to seeing Skinamarink for a while. I heard about the film, and I avoided looking into it when the leak happened since there was an error at the film festival it was being shown at and it was available to be downloaded, and it spread like wildfire across the net. I waited until it did show up on Shudder, but pretty much immediately watched it because I was really wanting to see this film. And oh boy, okay, so now the director said that it was he wanted a movie as if it was directed by Satan and edited by an AI. And I can understand that he got that because yeah, a lot of the editorial decisions are odd. The camera is never straight on; it's always at an awkward angle, or you can never see the main characters clearly throughout the entirety of the film, and that's on purpose. And the dialogue is hard to understand because they are very young kids, but they do subtitle them, thankfully. Okay. I'm trying to figure out how to even talk about this movie. But I'll say first off, I did not hate this movie. I did not. I appreciate what it was trying to do, but I don't know if it quite got there. Okay. So, a lot of the plot you have to kind of imagine and surmise yourself. There's some strange events, and, there's no exposition here. So, starts off with some kids talking to their father. It sounds like someone got hurt, and he needs to take him to the hospital. But anyway, they don't spend too much time on that. The father's role in the film is very short because shortly thereafter, the two young kids, I don't remember exactly how young they are, but they are young, wake up and, they find themselves alone in the house. Not only that, well, their father's gone, as well as all the doors and windows are gone. There's no way out of the house. Now, when I read that in the scripture, I thought they just would realize that the doors just are not there. But no, you actually see them vanish with the little sci-fi sound effects, so that was almost a little comedic to a point. But I will say there was this kind of lingering dread throughout the movie that did come through. The kids wake up, they're alone, and it's creepy. And there's a voice occasionally talking to them, telling them to do things they usually don't want to do, which is creepy. Like, one girl was told to stay out of there, so he took her eyes, and at one point she shows up and her eyes are gone. Yeah, that's scary. There's some creepy imagery here. But there's a long periods of just either no dialogue while the camera just jumps around the house, or you're not sure what you should be looking at or listening for. And it's the scenes that go very creepy. But the build up to them works to a degree, but isn't perfect. It needs something more to anchor it. That said, when it gets towards the end and suddenly like a title card flashes up like 500 some days later, it's like, wait, have the kids been in here that long? What's going on? And at that point, it just seems to go all out into crazy town and really comes alive there. If the movie was more like that last 15, 20 minutes, it would work. But because of it's so drawn out, it has trouble I can understand why people would be falling asleep during this movie. But I was there for it, and the creepiness worked for me. But I didn't love this film. I wanted to love this film, but I did not. I see what it's trying to do. For me, it didn't quite get there. You need either, because the kids are so abstracted, you can't really get attached to their plight, so you don't know the kids. The movie feels like very voyeuristically peering into this house, and so since it's never like a clear angle, it looks like you're peeking in through the shutters or the crack in a door just to almost see something, which could work in a small degree, but if you don't know the characters, you can't get attached to them. So you can only feel so sympathetic. And there's so many unanswered questions. Like, I understand leaving things vague and mysterious, but we don't know anything about what happened here. Was it an alien? Is kind of the impression I'm getting. I don't know, but it's like some sort of malignant force has tracked these kids here and seems to be just playing with them, and not in the fun way. Sometimes the fun way, not usually the fun way. But why? What's going on? You get nothing. You get vague, creepy hints. But I wanted just a little bit more. I could have done with leaving it mysterious, but I just needed something to grab onto. That said, I did enjoy the movie more than dislike it, so I'm willing to give this one. Oh, I've been doing six MacGuffins a lot lately, but honestly, that's where I'm going to put this one also. So yeah, this is like the third six today, but I actually had notes written down for what I was planning to rank a lot of these because I knew it was getting away from me. But yeah, this one's also up there in the six. I wanted to rate it higher. Actually, no. Thinking about it more now, since I wrote that one a while ago, and now I've had time to sit with it. Thinking back, I just gave King Kong vs. Godzilla a 6. I like that movie more. Same with Slumber Party Massacre 2, so 5. Drop it down to an average. It was creepy, but I didn't have any problems sleeping after this. I mean, one of the last creepy faces sure popped up in my mind once or twice, but it didn't really do more than that. And it needed to. Especially with all the hype this movie was getting. It needed to be something standoutish, and while it stand out, it is not in the way it wanted to. So, I do recommend seeing it if you have a night to kill, are curious, and are willing to be patient with the movie. But you have to be ready for that. If you're going in expecting a fright fest, you're going to be disappointed. You have to know what you're getting in for. This is a movie you shouldn't go completely blind into. Being prepared for the long, drawn-out silences is the key to enjoying this one. You have to know what it is. You can't surprise someone with that. So, knowing it's experimental, you gotta be ready for that. Otherwise, yeah, I'll get 5 MacGuffins. I actually knock it down a little bit from my initial spot now that I've had more time to think. Okay, I think that's all for Skinamarink, and probably all for me right now. I don't know if I'm going to get to any more reviews today. But hey, that's 3 down. A lot to go, but we'll get there. Alright, Void. It's good to see you again. Take care now.